Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. Today we're going to take a close look at HydroSilex Silica Infused Tire Shine. It says no sling, high gloss. It does produce some decent gloss. I've used it and I'm going to show you and share my experience with you. This is going to be the second layer on this Escalade. So after about 30 minutes or so from the first application or the first layer, we'll grab the foam applicator. You can see this much here, a little goes a long way. We'll do a third of the tire. And then I'll just load up more onto the foam applicator and work my way around the rubber. The tire dressing, tire shine, or maybe even tire coating, you want to refer to it, includes Sio2, and it also has a quick drying non-sling formula. You can get it on its own, or you can get it in a kit for just $25.99, and that's what I got. I got the cleaner, the wheel and tire cleaner, and also this tire dressing / coating all in one. And so far I've been happy with it, so I'll share my experience today and you can do whatever you want with that information. Now this here gives a real intense gloss. That's way too much for my personal taste, but there still are some customers out there that enjoy it. So let me pull this thing outside. I believe though that this shade or this intense gloss on this type of vehicle in this instance makes sense and looks really good. What do you guys think down in the comment section? Now, if you don't want quite as much gloss, it does recommend 2 layers no matter what. So you can either just cut back to 1 layer and take your chances, or after the second layer, take a microfiber and kick it back a bit. So I'll show you what I've done to prepare. We dragged this tire out of the pile behind the shop here, and as you can see, it's nasty, browning and dirty. What you're going to get out of a detailing product, and that includes a tire shine or a tire coating, will have a lot to do with the prep you put into it. So I have the cleaner in a foam sprayer. I got a bunch of it, and as you can see, it starts to lift that browning immediately and run off. Something this bad, it will take a few attempts. So scrub, agitate with a stiff bristled brush, tire brush, rinse and repeat until you are happy and have it cleaned. Normally I'll keep going until I spray on the cleaner and I don't see any residue running down the tire. Then I know we have it pretty well. Rubber is very porous, so it does take some effort to get it nice and clean, especially if that tire has been loaded up with a layer of tire dressing on it without being priorly cleaned. That really turns into a mess, and that's where you get most of the browning from, along with some bleeding from the rubber itself. So let's rinse it thoroughly. We'll let the sun dry it, and we'll take a look. Okay, progress has been made, but I'm not happy with that. I'm going to have to go over that 1 or 2 more times. But we'll bring it inside when I'm finally satisfied, and we'll get the first layer on. And right there it does say best results when layered, a second layer. So we'll go a third of the tire at a time. A little bit goes a long way. Having applied to 2 Escalades and a few test tires and a few other vehicles, the top of the bottle, we've only dropped a 1/4 inch from the top of the bottle, so this will last you quite some time. You can smooth or wipe down any high spots or streaks with a microfiber, or if you just want to kick back the gloss a little bit. This is what it looks like after the first layer, but that insane gloss will relax a little bit as you let it cure. So we'll break out the phone and we'll wait a good 30 minutes, just like it says before the second layer, and then we'll let that go for another good 30 minutes or so before we take it out. It wants you to let it sit for 30 minutes before you take it out into rainfall or a wet environment, or just getting the coating wet at all. Having used it now on multiple vehicles, I can tell you I would let it sit overnight. That 30 minutes just doesn't do it. I have taken it out. It's rained shortly after, and it really washed a lot of that off. Now, after letting it sit overnight, that is a different story. And once again, any blotchiness, streaking, or high spots, just gently drag a microfiber over the surface. And this is what it looks like so far. We'll let it go before we drag it outside, but insane gloss. Okay, real world use. I've had it on this Escalade for 2.5 weeks. It's been through a few rainstorms, but the one thing that was key, it was a few days after I applied it until the first rain. So it had a couple days to dry and cure. So what I do when I have a coating on the tire is I'll just dump an old microfiber into the wash bucket, grab some suds, have a little bit of cleaning power, but I don't want to wash it off or break it down. And I'll just go over the tire. And you can see, I'll open it up here. Maybe you can see it here. It does pull off some dust and muck from the roadways and looks much better, and just thoroughly rinse from there and dry the tire. What I want you to see before I start to dry the tire is the protection is still there. It beads well. And I've been looking for quite some time for something that lasts. I've never found anything that lasts longer than 2.5, 3 weeks, but I will keep you up to date with this. I'm going to dry the tire after we're done messing around with the water behavior. You can either do that with a microfiber, best to do it just by using a leaf blower or a shop blower. And I can tell you this still has the sheen that I prefer. Sort of a satin look. You can even see the red t-shirt that I'm wearing in the reflection of the rubber. So it has not broken down. It hasn't gone anywhere. It doesn't look blotchy or patchy. It still looks pretty darn good. Okay, back inside to the tire that we have 2 fresh layers on, and that's just way too much gloss for me. There still are customers, as I have mentioned, that do prefer that, so it's good to have it on hand, but you can take a microfiber over that and cut it back just a little bit. Let's take the tire outside and do a quick before and after. Let me know down in the comments section, do you like that extreme gloss look, the new tire satin look, or something in between? I like it so far on the Flip Escalade here, and that's my experience. So I thought I would share it with you and maybe give it a shot when you are out of Tire Shine. Don't hoard the products like I do. Just order them as you need them. Catch you guys in the next video.